Cristiano Ronaldo left his Manchester United legacy in tatters with his recent interview. One would think that there is no way back for the Portuguese superstar at Old Trafford and he will be on his way out in January. There have been some rumors that the club are considering terminating his contract. Let's see what the future holds. Could it all lead to a blockbuster return to Real Madrid though? Ronaldo's legacy remains untouched at Real Madrid. He delivered everything in the royal white jersey and more, even winning the Ballon d'Or 4 times during his time at Santiago Bernabeu. It is not hard to see why the fans would love to see him back at Real Madrid. They never really got a chance to say a proper goodbye in 2018, when he stunningly left for Juventus. But now, it looks like there is some interest on the part of Ronaldo when it comes to a return to Real Madrid. As reported by Sport, Ronaldo's environment has offered Real Madrid a return of 6 months. The Portuguese star would like a return to the Spanish capital. And while Los Blancos have never shown signs of such in the past, Karim Benzema's injury problems might open up a new scenario. There is no need to list the accomplishments of Ronaldo in a Real Madrid jersey. He is one of the greatest to ever do it, period. At the same time though, one has to wonder whether a move for him makes sense for Real Madrid at this point of time. At the end of the day, he is 37 years of age. Also, his form and impact on a team has been questionable in recent years. Ronaldo did win his fair share of silverware at Juventus, but overall, the team took a step back following his arrival, both in Serie A and in the Champions League. Manchester United found themselves in a similar situation in terms of the Premier League, as they went from 2nd to 6th. At least Ronaldo scored quite a few goals in the previous campaign, but this time around, he has looked completely bereft of confidence in front of goal. Thus, if Real Madrid do try to make a move for Ronaldo, they should be aware that they would be getting a player who is past his prime now and struggling. But at the same time, all Los Blancos need at the moment is a short-term fix to see out the season before making a big investment on a striker next summer. In that sense, signing Ronaldo until the end of the season could be the perfect solution. He already knows La Liga and the Champions League like the back of his hand, and should not need any time to adjust to his surroundings. Cristiano Ronaldo appears highly unlikely to play for Man United again, and his former employers Real Madrid have come to a decision over a potential return for the Portuguese forward. Real Madrid have reportedly decided not to make a move for former striker Cristiano Ronaldo despite the Portuguese eyeing an emotional reunion with the Spanish giants. The veteran forward appears highly likely to be leaving Manchester United in the January transfer window, having severed his ties with the Red Devils during his explosive interview with Piers Morgan. Ronaldo had previously lodged a transfer request in the summer before claiming that he had been betrayed by United. The club have already kicked off the process of cancelling the remainder of the 2-year deal that he penned to return from Italian giants Juventus. His future now remains up in the air, with the likes of Chelsea, Napoli and Atletico Madrid having all been linked with a move for his services. Now, Spanish outlet Sport report that the veteran striker has offered his services to former club Real Madrid, having seen former teammate Karim Benzema having been struck down through injury, ending his World Cup hopes in the process. Ronaldo could potentially become an emergency option in the January transfer window. Super agent Jorge Mendes is apparently attempting to negotiate Ronaldo's exit from Old Trafford, but things could be tricky considering Real's stance. As per Marca, the Spanish giants are not expected to make a move for the Portuguese or any striker in the winter window. That news will certainly be damaging for Ronaldo as he eyes a reunion with his former club. He is currently the club's record goal scorer, having plundered 450 strikes in 438 appearances during his spell at the Santiago Bernabeu. That stunning record certainly assisted in the Spanish side lifting 4 Champions League titles, 2 La Ligas and even more honors. Speaking after helping the club to the Club World Cup back in 2017, Ronaldo hinted that he was eyeing retirement with Real. When asked if he had ambitions of ending his career with the Spanish club, he replied, "I would really like to, but things don't depend on me. What depends on me is what I do on the pitch. I am not the one who runs the club, that is for those in charge. My job is on the pitch and I think I am doing it well. The rest I can't control." Ronaldo was on the move only a few months after that statement as he ended his 9-year spell with Real with a big money move to Serie A giants Juventus. He was in Turin for just 3 seasons and won 2 titles but failed to add to his European crowns. He was allowed to return to Man United in 2021 and enjoyed the relatively successful first campaign, having netted 24 goals in all competitions, but things have very quickly gone sour. After a 2-year chase, Real Madrid have finally got their man. Manchester United accepted their staggering £80 million bid today, and now Cristiano Ronaldo will finally get to play for his childhood heroes. Since Florentino Perez rode into town on the back of his glittering white stallion, rumors have been flying about Ronaldo's future in a red jersey. Last season, Madrid, then under the stewardship of Ramon Calderón, almost forced the deal through. In the end, Alex Ferguson put his foot down, and the 24-year-old Portuguese decided to stay. But in a sensational world record move, Madrid have finally got their man. The fact that Madrid had their first bid of £80 accepted would lean towards the rumored agreement between the two clubs that Ronaldo would be allowed to leave this year. United have agreed to give Real Madrid permission to talk to the player, said a statement from the English club. It added that the decision came at Ronaldo's request after he again expressed his desire to leave. United then described the offer for the forward as unconditional and added that they expected the matter to be concluded by June 30th. Ronaldo will now join up with the Brazilian playmaker Kaká, whose own transfer world record of £58 only stood for less than 1 week. Perez has said that the club need to do in 1 year what they would normally do in 3. So that would suggest that the transfers at the Bernabeu are not finished for this year. On paper it does look like the second coming of the Galacticos, especially with players of such renown as Ronaldo and Kaká coming in, and on the field it could also turn out to be the second coming if top-quality defenders are not added this summer too. In his last stint as Real Madrid president, Perez oversaw the longest barren spell in the club's history and was almost chased out of Madrid by furious fans. This bad run came despite having players like Zinedine Zidane, Luis Figo, Raúl, and David Beckham on their books. With him riding back in on a crest of a wave thanks to Calderón's resignation after a vote-rigging scandal at the club, Perez has grasped the moral high ground concerning corruption within the club, and the billionaire is now in complete command of the club without having an election for the position. Ronaldo's transfer will sting many Manchester United supporters who feel that the club have made the player the huge star that he is, and that he should have shown some loyalty. At every club there are players who cannot be sold. Think Steven Gerrard at Liverpool or Frank Lampard at Chelsea. Ronaldo is simply not of the same importance to Manchester United players like Wayne Rooney and Nemanja Vidic are. During the last season, Ronaldo's body language in a United jersey spoke volumes. He was clearly unhappy, and he showed a huge degree of petulance in his performances. He felt a new challenge was needed. He had, after all, won everything he could with United. Now he will get the chance to join his boyhood idols. Reading between the lines, and you always have to with transfers such as these, is to see who Manchester United will replace him with. Conspiracy theorists will read into the fact that Real Madrid seemingly pulled out of the £50 deal with Bayern Munich for Franck Ribéry last week and now all of a sudden have brought in Ronaldo and Kaká. Ribéry would be a fantastic replacement for the Portuguese at Old Trafford as an extremely hard-working player who has phenomenal skill to match. As mentioned before, he would be available for around £50, which would leave United £30 to spend elsewhere. The Carlos Tevez affair is still rumbling on. City rivals Manchester City are waiting in the wings to see if United will meet the £25 fee Kia Radkian is demanding. That kind of money for a player that Ferguson sees as little more than a squad player would be foolish, so expect the canny Scot to go to Lyon for Karim Benzema, who would be available for around the £25 mark. The remainder of the fee would allow Ferguson to chase a goalkeeper. At 38, Edwin van der Sar's best days are behind him, and with Robert Kuszczak and Ben Foster still some way from being a regular at Old Trafford, Fergie needs a top-class keeper in between the posts to maintain United's dominance in the EPL. Other players who have been linked with a move to Old Trafford this summer are Antonio Valencia from Wigan for £15 and Marek Hamsik from Napoli. Mark Schwarzer is in pole position to be snapped up by United. The Fulham keeper had another outstanding season in his first with the London side, and he helped guide them to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. Without him, Middlesbrough sank without a trace. During his time on Teesside, Middlesbrough never finished lower than 14th. But without him they were relegated, and Fulham profited by finishing 7th. One thing to note on the Ronaldo transfer is that Ronaldo's agents maintained that a deal had been agreed upon last year, and if Real Madrid had reneged on the deal, they would have had to pay the forward some £26 compensation. For Madrid, this is only the start of the summer signings. In Iker Casillas, they have one of the world's best goalkeepers. Their problems start at the back. They need a new defense full stop. Fabio Cannavaro, who was a spent force anyway, has left for Juventus, and he was the best of what was on show. Without strengthening these four positions, Madrid can sign all the Galacticos they want, and it still won't be enough to wrestle the La Liga title from Barcelona's grasp. In an ironic twist, Ruud van Nistelrooy, who left Old Trafford under a cloud after a training ground incident with Ronaldo, now looks certain to leave Madrid, having not played for almost a year. The 33-year-old will definitely be moved on. Fulham and Spurs lie in wait for United. The player they bought as an 18-year-old for £12 in 2003 has grown up. In 196 games for the Red Devils, he scored 84 goals, including a phenomenal haul of 42 goals in 49 games in the 2007-08 season where United won the Premier League and the Champions League. He is not the first big name to leave Old Trafford under Alex Ferguson. Roy Keane, David Beckham, and Eric Cantona spring to mind. What the Scot usually does is replace that player with someone else of outstanding quality. He has a brilliant eye for potential. Who he signs to replace Ronaldo could have a big say in the direction of next season's Premier League. For United, it is the end of an era. The player that they had to cheer on in a white jersey in the Champions League final against Barcelona will now wear the famous white kit of Madrid as they chase Barca for the La Liga title next year. As a replacement for the injured Karim Benzema, Cristiano Ronaldo has reportedly been offered a return to Spanish powerhouse Real Madrid. The Portuguese superstar might play for his old team for 6 months, according to a report by the Spanish publication Sport. According to the article's author, Luis Miguelsons, Madrid president Florentino P.A. Copywriter is looking for a striker and Ronaldo would like to return to Madrid. The news follows Ronaldo's explosive interview with Piers Morgan, in which the 37-year-old publicly criticized his current employers Manchester United, including head coach Erik ten Hag and the club's owners, the Glazers. As a result, United look set to terminate Ronaldo's contract by mutual consent after the World Cup, opening the door for the possibility of a sensational return to the Spanish capital for Madrid's all-time leading goalscorer. The injury to Benzema that will rule him out of France's World Cup campaign has only added further fuel to the rumors of a deal going through in the next few weeks. The Ballon d'Or winner, who scored an astonishing 44 goals across all competitions last term as Real secured a memorable league and European double, was on Sunday ruled out of the tournament in Qatar after suffering a thigh injury in training. As Les Bleus attempt to defend the trophy they won in Russia 4 years ago, the 34-year absence on the eve of the tournament will be a major setback for France manager Didier Deschamps, who will also be without Paul Pogba and N'Golo Kante. Karim scored a crucial goal in this World Cup, and Deschamps expressed his extreme sadness for him. "In my life, I never give up, but tonight, I have to think about the team like I always do," Benzema said. "Therefore, the reason urges me to turn over my position to someone who can help our team win the World Cup." In the meantime, Ronaldo is expected to lead Portugal against Ghana in their opening group matchup on November 24 and become just the 4th player in history to compete at 5 FIFA World Cup finals for men. Ronaldo has played in over 190 senior international matches and has scored an incredible 117 goals for his nation. His performances for United this season, however, have been overshadowed by a number of high-profile off-field incidents that have stoked rumors of tensions between player and club. His open interview with Morgan last week all but confirmed these rumors. As the fallout continues from Cristiano Ronaldo's interview about his second stint at Manchester United, Real Madrid have emerged as favourites to help the striker facilitate his exit from Old Trafford. According to Sport, Ronaldo's criticism of Man United manager Erik ten Hag and the club in general has opened up the potential for a move in January, with the situation between club and player seemingly irreconcilable. Ronaldo's problem is that few clubs can afford his salary. United, in attempting to cut ties with the striker, are negotiating with the player's agent, Jorge Mendes, to try to find an amicable agreement that ensures he leaves without United having to pay him much of his remaining salary. That is where Real Madrid could come in, with striker Karim Benzema sustaining an injury while training in Qatar for the World Cup. Los Blancos are in the market for someone to boost their attack for the second half of the season. Benzema is not expected to be out long-term, but since early October he had been dealing with lingering injury problems even before he was ruled out of the World Cup. Thus, a short spell in Madrid seems to suit both parties as the 37-year-old is still revered at the Bernabeu. However, Marca's insiders cast doubt that Madrid will make an offer for the Portuguese star, and instead believe Chelsea, Atletico Madrid and Napoli are more likely destinations. Ronaldo departed England to head to Qatar, via his homeland, following the revelations he made to Morgan as Portugal prepared to take on Ghana, Uruguay and South Korea in Group H of the World Cup. But his club career is now completely up in the air after he told Morgan he felt betrayed by the Red Devils and that he had no respect for boss Erik ten Hag. Ronaldo could find himself looking for a new team as soon as his endeavors with Portugal have ended next month. And, according to Spanish publication Sport, the player's entourage have already been in touch with Real to offer the services of their client on a 6-month deal until the end of the season. Ronaldo's team have sensed an opportunity to strike a deal after Real striker Benzema had his World Cup dreams dashed when he tore a muscle in his left thigh during training on Saturday. Benzema, who played alongside Ronaldo for 9 years at the Bernabeu Stadium, has starred for Madrid in recent years and won the 2022 Ballon d'Or trophy ahead of the World Cup. Real Madrid president Florentino Perez is looking for a striker and has a good relationship with Ronaldo despite the manner of his departure to Juventus in 2018. But the 75-year-old has never been keen to reignite the affiliation and believes the 37-year-old could struggle to play second fiddle to Benzema once the Frenchman is fit again. Ronaldo would like to return to the Spanish capital, with Atletico Madrid also being tipped as a possible destination for the veteran. But Atletico could struggle to pay his wages as they are still trying to balance their books after exiting the Champions League at the group stages.